name's Linda. I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today we're making a squash book. I've seen them on Pinterest and I thought I'm going to try and give that a go. So I'm going to start with 3 pieces of 6x6 inch Coastal Cabana paper, and we also are going to be using some, this is just cardboard and it's 3.5 by 3.5. And then lastly, I'm using some designer series paper, and this is called Follow Your Art. It's really pretty, it's got some lovely colours in it, and it also comes with a stamp set, and that is 4.5 by 4.5 inches. So I'm going to start with a little bit of scoring. So we need to score all 3 of these pieces at 3 inches. And then we're just going to turn it round and score at 3 inches again. And we're sort of forming a cross on our paper, you can see there. And then we need to score diagonally, and we want to go straight down the middle. And to do that, if we put the corner into our little groove, and then the other corner into the little groove as well, put our scoring tool in the middle of our paper, and then score up and down, and that will stop the corners rucking up. And we need to do that, as I said, we need to do that with all 3 pieces. So now we need to do some folding and burnishing. We need to do exactly the same with all 3 pieces of our 6x6 cardstock. So I'm going to start by folding the diagonal line, and I just smooth that out with my fingers, and then I get my bone folder in there. We need to make the lines nice and sharp. And once you've done all of your lines, I then want you to turn them around and do it the other way, which we don't normally do, but because this is a squash book and it's sort of like a concertina sort of effect, we want to make sure everything's working okay. So today I'm doing a voiceover, which I don't normally do, but I've had a few of my lovely subscribers tell me they can't hear very well. So while I'm trying to sort that problem out, I'm doing it this way. So I'm not used to doing this, so hopefully this is working out okay. So now all our pieces of paper are burnished and ready to go. I'm going to show you how to put these together to form our squash book. So we want the squares to be stuck together, the squares that do not have score lines on. So there you go. And so they're sort of forming 3 diamonds in a row there. So we're going to be putting glue just on 2 squares to stick this together. I'm going to start with this one here. So I'm going to be putting that square to that square there. I'm putting glue just around the edges and a little bit in the middle, so that gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And then I'm going to place one on top of the other. Just push that down, and then the other square I'm going to put under instead of over. And I'm going to put glue on the underside and stick the other one on top. Then I'm just going to go over with my bone folder, and I'm going to do the back as well, just to make sure they're nicely stuck down. So I'm going to put this to one side to dry, and now I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the outside covers for it. So I have my designer series paper here. I want this side to be on the outside of the cover, although I really do like the inside as well. And I'm just going to stick our 3x3 piece of cardboard that I've cut out on the inside. So I've put some wet glue over the back of this, and I'm going to try and get this in the middle, although it's hard with the camera over my head. And I'm just going to push that down, get my bone folder and go over the front and the back of this. And then you just need to do exactly the same with the other 2 pieces. So now what we need to do is cut all the corners off of here. So you want to leave a little gap at the top there, because otherwise you're going to be able to see the corners, and we don't want to be able to see the corners. So cut all 4 corners off. And then what we need to do is turn all the edges over, get our bone folder on them and make a nice crisp line. And you need to do that with the other piece as well. Once we've got all 4 sides down, we're going to glue those down. So I've just got some wet glue and I'm dipping in a bath sponge that I've cut up just to go around the edges. Then once I've done all those edges, we're going to fold them over and burnish with our bone folder. You want nice crisp lines, as I keep saying, and obviously you need to do exactly the same with the other one. So here's the finished covers, really lovely. And then I'm going to bring in our squash book. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tell the score lines which way we want them to go. So we want to just squeeze these 2 in so they form a square on the side, and then we need to get our bone folder in there and go over all those score lines again. So a final burnish on the top there, and it's going to open like this and close like this. Open and close. And then we just need to do the same on the other side. So pinch those 2 little score lines in so they concertina into a square, and then burnish again. And so this is how it should look when you finish that stage. And then we're going to move on to the next bit. So we want our middle pieces to squeeze in just like this, and then burnish, burnish, burnish again. So this is how it should open after you've done all your burnishing, and close back up again. And we're going to close it up and we're going to put our covers on now. So opening this up, the 2 squares at the end are going to be the squares where our covers are going to go on the other side. So I'm going to fold this up and show you where they need to go. So we're going to have a cover on the front and on the back, and they're a tiny bit bigger. That's how they're going to look. But before we put the covers on, we need to attach a piece of ribbon so we can tie this squash book together. So I'm going to open this again, close it up so you know which way we're going, and that is going to be the front. I've got a piece of double-sided tape here that I'm going to stick on the front, and that is going to be where I'll put my ribbon. So I'm using the Magnolia Lane combo ribbon. So you get this beautiful ribbon, and you also get a Mossy Meadow Baker's Twine that comes with it as well. It's really pretty. So we need to wrap it around our squash book, and we want it so that our ribbon is going to be level on both sides. And I'll be neatening those edges up later. So I'm just going to peel the backing tape off of the double-sided tape. So I've zoomed in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to wrap the Magnolia Lane ribbon over the double-sided tape so that it's going to stick nice and securely. And then we'll be tying it at the side here. So that's where you'll be tying your bow to secure your book. We do not want to be sticking it to the back. You will need it to be kept loose like this. And then we'll be putting the top on there. So I'm putting some glue on here. This is on the front cover, so ready to put our cover on. But this is the part that I had lots of problems with when I was doing my samples, and so I changed my mind and I'm going to turn it over. And the reason I did this is because I found it hard to line it up straight on the inside. So I decided to do it the other way around, and actually this does work much easier coming from the previous ones that I tried. So I'm just going to push that on. Then I'm going to bring the other cover in, so some more glue on the back here. And when we put our cover on, we want to make sure that the edges are lining up with the one underneath. It's a little bit tricky because you have to hold this, otherwise it will just spring up. It just wants to spring up. So just pushing that down, make sure the glue is stuck nicely. So this is what it's going to look like with your ribbon, and you can just wrap that around the back and tie it at the side here, and then it just opens. It opens much easier with covers on. And so now we're going to decorate the insides. So I'm using the Follow Your Art DSP still, and I've cut out these squares using the layering square dies, and then all I've done is put them in my cutter or my trimmer, and I've cut them all in half. And I'm going to stick these to all of the pieces inside that have got score lines on. So they're just going to stick on there. So I'm going to do that and come back already, and there you go. How pretty is that? I really love this paper. It's looking really good. So now I'm going to do the 4 centre squares. So I'm continuing to use the same design series paper, and I'm also using some Calypso Coral. I've still been using the layering square dies for this, and I'm going to stick these down and then show you in a moment. So here they all are stuck down. I've put 2 white pieces at each end, and there, so you can write a message on there if you'd like to. Obviously you can do different designs, put different things on there as well. I've been die cutting a few things because I'm going to do some decorations as well. So using the same set, I've cut out some buttons, and I've got a paper clip which I didn't end up using actually, and just some few items that I've coloured in as well, and I'm going to decorate that and show you when I've finished. And so here we go, the squash book is finished. I haven't tied it, but you would tie your bow there. I haven't put anything on the front because I actually really like the paper. I might put something on there later, but I'm leaving it as it is at the moment. So I'm going to open it. Ta-da! So I haven't actually done an awful lot of decoration. Not as much as I thought I was going to do. I've left these 2 pieces at the end plain, as I said, so you could write your message in those 2. And I've done a bit of stamping, and I've stuck a few sequins on. I'm really quite pleased with it. I really love the colours for this squash book, and this is the first time I've ever made one, and I think I'm going to be making more. I think they're really nice. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you can hear it okay. Please comment if you can't hear it. Hopefully I'm going to be sorting this problem out. As always, if you go to the description below, you'll be able to see the products that I've used, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.